I scheduled some time before, so I would like to invite our presenters that are online and haven't sent a presentation in advance. Seyda Subasi Singh from University of Vienna, Department of Education, and Wilfried Swoboda from the Board of Education for Vienna, Department European Office. They have a presentation on the topic training community parents for employment and social innovation. Although they are placed in the third panel, they ask us for some slight changes in the schedule, so I would like to invite them to present their paper now.
Thank you, Christina. I hope everyone can hear me properly. So let me introduce myself. I'm Seyda from University of Vienna, Department of Education, and with my colleague here today from Board of Education for Vienna, Wilfried, we will be talking about a project. He's saying hi. And today, actually, we do not have too much empirical results to share with you, but because of Corona, of course, like the things, they didn't happen the way that we wanted this semester. I think it's valid for all of us. But again, it didn't stop us. So we want to share some preliminary findings, and also we want to share the idea with you. So I will start sharing my screen with you. I hope everybody can see it properly. I will just make us a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so today we will be talking about the project that we have in the city of Vienna. The name is Training Community Parents for Employment and Social Innovation. As I already introduced ourselves, it's a project that is funded by IAI program. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I will also give a little bit information about it. And the name of our project is FAB project. It's a European-wide project, including some different countries. And the project that we are running in Vienna, it's Community Action Parents. So shortly COMPARE. So the IAI program is the top funder of the project that we are running here in the city. The program is European Program for Employment and Social Innovation. So they have three principles, which are mainly promote employment and ensure social protection and defeat the social exclusion. The European-wide project, FAB, or in a long way, Fast Action Boost, includes 5 countries, including Austria, of course, Germany, Sweden, Serbia, and Italy. But the part that we are mainly actualizing in the city, it is called COMPARE. But what are the priorities of our project? Of course, we want to promote the development and testing of innovative and effective mechanisms because we want to ensure that there is a fast-track integration in the labor market, especially for people from a refugee or migrant background. And we want these changes to be sustainable, of course, and we want to develop the multi-level partnership model, so including several stakeholders in the city. And of course, we want to foster the knowledge and experience sharing between the member states, because this is the aim of the program, and this is the aim of the project also. And we have a very special focus on the women, especially women from a migrant or refugee background. So there is a special focus, there is special attention given to increase the number of women included in the project. So what is the background of the idea of the project actually? So it is well known that there are many countries, even within Europe or outside Europe, there are many countries where the immigrant families or their children, unfortunately, they're not really supported in terms of economic integration, because when we are talking about integration, we cannot only talk about social integration, it should be educational, economic, social, and cultural. So there are different parameters to decide if someone is integrated or not, or maybe in a more correct way, included or not. But there are, of course, persistent challenges in terms of integrating people, in terms of helping them to integrate economically. Most of the immigrant families, immigrant communities, they are unfortunately limited in terms of income and their educational achievement. And most of these challenges, most of these problems, they are reproduced within the immigrant community. So we want to actually achieve economic integration through education, and we want to achieve education through economic integration. So it is actually, we want to have a well working cycle, very productive cycle, because we know that students from migrant backgrounds, they show lower educational attainment, and this educational attainment, lower education attainment, it ends up in lower educational integration and less access to labor market. And on the other hand, less labor market access ends up in lower education attainment. So there is a vicious cycle there that we have to break. So this is the persistent challenges. Actually, we want to create some change, and we want to, interfere because we want to educate people. We want to educate parents from migrant or refugee background, and we want them to be employed quickly, to have quicker access to the labor market, of course, fitting their competences. We don't want to, overage, or like we don't want to underestimate, of course, their capabilities and their competences. This is the vicious cycle that we want to, as I said, change and make much more productive. What we want to do, we have a city perspective, so which means when we are planning our trainings, when we are planning our activities, it should be definitely fitting a city perspective. So including everything, you may think about a city, the neighborhood, the public transportation, the facilities, the infrastructure, everything what we are doing, they have a city perspective in terms of policies and measures that we are taking also. We want the involvement. It's a participatory project, of course, so we want the involvement of all stakeholders as much as possible, but especially people from refugee and migrant background. We want to enhance the experiences, and we want to enhance the models. There are already several models tackling this topic, the fast-track labor market integration, but we want to enhance them because there are many other problems that we are facing with these models that we already have. And as I said before, we have special attention given to the women, and also we want to foster the city administration and all stakeholders, and we want to definitely inform them before the project, throughout the project, but also especially at the end of the project. So what we are doing actually in Vienna, we have community action parents. We are trying to come up with community action parents, which means that we want to improve their knowledge in terms of education of their children. We want to improve their collaboration with the schools. We want to include them in the decision-making processes that they should be, more active. And we want to empower them by doing this thing, of course. So in our training, as I said before, we are trying to achieve labor market integration through education. So by increasing their competences and knowledge in terms of their own education, educational facilities in the city, or education of their children, we want them to be much more aware also about the labor market. The parents from refugee or migrant background, they are beneficiaries of the program, and we are training them, and we want to multiply this training. So we train the parents, and then later they will go to their neighborhoods, and then they will train other parents. So we make our trainees trainers in a way. Just shortly, I want to give you a little bit statistics about the Vienna city. We have in Vienna city, we have 45.9% of people with the migration background. So in the refugees, in the whole country, it is 20.7%. So you see the difference when you compare the